I just I wish some of the more modern naturals would post some pictures of themselves in the off season, because they look darn impressive. Even at 12% body fat, they look amazing, and
right.
they look so much. Sometimes they look fuller to me. But anyway,
exactly. That's very, very true.
You spent a lot of time with Brutus the Barber Beefcake. Am I correct? During your travels?
Yeah. It's we're jumping forward a little bit, but absolutely, man.
Sorry.
Yeah, he was really cool, man. He was a good friend of mine, and I met him through his wife, Barbara, who was cool with a few of my friends, and we hooked up, and he was a really cool guy, man. He basically, took me under his wing for the time that we trained together, and that was like 2001. But, I was training with my friend Brutus in the Barber Beefcake in 2001, and during that time, he was like a father to me. He cared about my wrestling and training, unlike my real dad. He, some of the best workouts I ever had were with Eddie. It was motivational, man. He really took me, under his wing, and we watched over me all the time. We traveled together, traveled all over the Northeast, wrestled on cars together, and I can remember just the way he looked out for me, man. It really meant a lot. Wrestling someplace in Pennsylvania or Maine or something. There was these two wrestlers called the Power Company, two twin brothers. These guys were monsters, and I was wrestling those guys. It was like a handicap match or something, and
right.
I remember Eddie in the back room saying to this guy, "Hey, take care of him. Take care of him like he really cared about me." And that meant a lot. Like, he was really watching out for me, not just as a trainer.
Right.
He trained me my stuff and my help with my training, but it was almost like a father would look after his son. Watch out for my boy out there, take care of him, and that really meant a lot. We used to travel together all over the place. He had tons of friends all over the world, but there was one time we were hanging out together with a few of his friends, and he said to the guy that there's a brand new professional wrestling federation starting up called the XWF, which is a Cyber Wrestling Federation run by Jimmy Hart, I think it's Brian Knobs, and a couple other guys. But, he was telling the guy that, when I go there, it was at Universal Studios. They were filming down in November of 2001, Universal. And he said, when I go down there, he said to the guy, I'm taking Johnny with me. I was wrestling then under the name Shane O'Kane, which was a name that was developed by a friend of mine, my manager, Peter Katalikis. But like we found out afterwards that XWF had some financial problems, and it just never materialized like people thought it would. So that was kind of crushed. But right afterwards, it was cool. We did a commercial together for World Gym in Linfield in December of 2001, which was really fun to do. I remember the crew getting autographs from and everything else, and we trained together all the time. But he was a really cool guy, and just to be known in the throughout with a lot of wrestlers as Bruce Beefcake's boy, that was an honor for me. It was something. Great memories, man. Like I said, with the whole wrestling thing, and
so
being that close to him was really, really cool.
You stay in touch with him to this day? Is he still in the industry?
Yeah. I keep in touch with him. I haven't talked to him a little while, but he was working at Planet Fitness, I believe, in Tewksbury. He was a trainer there, and he had his own wrestling school, I believe, up there as well. He's all over the place, man. He's training everywhere, and he was doing that. I know a little while ago, my friend told me he was on that show. Got Celebrity, I think it was Hulk Hogan's Championship Wrestling, that celebrity show on the Country Channel. You catch that at all?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, he was on that. He was a trainer, and he had a whole bunch of guys that were on his team. It was two teams. I think his team had, who was the kid from Different Strokes? Willis. What was his real name?
Yeah, I don't know.
What was his real name?
I don't know.
Anyway?
I can picture him.
Todd Bridges?
Yes, Todd Bridges, that song.
Yeah, Todd Bridges, and Bonaducci was in there, and it was all these cool cats were all wrestling. He had a team. I forget who was on his team, but all those guys were involved, and he looked good. He cut a lot of weight, and he was pretty ripped up, and he looked good. And I'm happy for him because he had the paragliding accident back in, God, like 20 years ago, and he caught the paraglider in the face, and he had the reconstructive facial surgery, and he has X amount of plates and wire and screws make up his whole face. And to come back from that massive injury to look as good as he looked was amazing. But yeah, man, it was really cool, and to be able to consider him a friend of mine, and to have him watch over me and take care of me, and it was really cool, man. It really was.
Now, were you in wrestling at the time when hardcore was all the rage? I mean, the reason why I ask is in my time it was everybody was infatuated with the ECW, and it was every match was about how many stop signs can you get hit over the head with, or
exactly, man, exactly.
I just wondered if
it was, man, because it was, and it was huge back then. And like I said to a lot of my friends, I always say, why don't you do mixed martial arts, which I'm a big fan of MMA. I have 100% respect for every mixed martial artist out there. It's a very hard profession, and a lot of training. And it's similar to wrestling, man. You got to stay in shape, you got to diet and eat right, and it's commitment. And a lot of friends say, why don't you do MMA? I said, well, I got involved in wrestling back in 98, 99 when wrestling was the craze, And now mixed martial arts is a big thing. When now they have all their weight divisions, and you can remember back in like the late '90s when Shamrock was fighting in UFC, and there was no weight divisions, man. So he'd be fighting the guy who was like 300 pounds, and he was weighing 205. So it wasn't really, it wasn't sanctioned back then, so it wasn't the big thing, which it is now. But getting back to the extreme that, like I was saying, that ECW was huge back in the late '90s, and WCW was huge, but they had a lot of, ECW being huge was all extreme. And then, WCW back then had their hardcore champions, and so hardcore was pretty good, man. But, I wrestled this thing called, Too Extreme Pro Wrestling in the tri-state area it was around 2000. And, God, I remember, funny things. They gave me a manager. Her name was Miss Too Extreme. And I was like, and I show up there and I said, this is your manager, Miss Too Extreme, and she had a white string bikini and heels, and you go, can you work with this? And I was saying, I think I can manage. Yeah. I think I can work with this. Yeah, I think I can. So they did a photo shoot with us before the match, and someone came in and this was back in 2000. And someone stole the photos of me and her. I don't know what they even did with them. And I think she was like a school teacher in Andover or something. But I had her as a manager a few times, which was really cool. But that was in the extreme-based stuff, and I remember I think it was July 2nd of 2000. I was wrestling an extreme match with this organization. God, what the hell was it? I think it was Thompson International Speedway I think it was Thompson, Connecticut. And I got powerbombed to a table on concrete, and I didn't feel anything run away. It hurt a little bit, but I guess what happened from that was I had a fractured vertebrae in my back, and I think it was like 15,000 people there. They just loaded the whole raceway with people, and they put the ring right there. So it was really neat, wrestling in front of that many people. But here we go back to the extreme again, where you're getting pile drived, power-bombed through a table on concrete, man. You know what I'm saying? It's almost that doesn't sound good. When someone says, what happened to you tonight? Like, from home, and it wasn't bad. I got power-bombed to a table on concrete. I mean, that just sounds really rough.
I was never in the the upper echelons of some of the minor federations, and doing this crazy stuff for me with guys that didn't exactly have the talent level was just insane.